Men, and as usual, I use the term loosely. What you have ripped apart in front of you is a HHIP, that's HH Industrial Products mill vise. I forget what it cost me. I don't know, a couple $100, $150, I don't remember. Uh, I would, of course, like to have had a Kurt, which is the industry standard for machine vices, but some of us operate at the lower end of the machinist cost spectrum. Some of us operate at the end that some people call the cheap end. That's where I'm at on a lot of this. The Kurt Vice is probably $600 or $700. Like I say, this is 150, maybe 200, 199. I don't remember. It basically works okay. For those of you that don't know, a machinist vise, when you tighten the jaws together, is supposed to pull the jaws down so that your part won't ride up and throw your dimensions off when you're trying to machine something. And if you guys have any cheap drill press vices like this here, you will affirm, I'm sure, that when you tighten this jaw up, this jaw wants to lift a little bit. And when it lifts, it carries the thing up, and it'll be at a little bit of an angle. So it won't be securely clamped in the vise. And if you're trying to machine something flat, you really can't do it with something like this. It just doesn't work. So along came the real mill vise, and it has a mechanism that's supposed to draw the movable jaw down. Here is that mechanism. I took this thing apart today. I was going to clean it out. It was, full of crud and chips and grease and all that. And I got to looking at it and decided it needed a little work. First of all, we'll look at these parts here. This is the movable jaw. And when I took it out of here and started cleaning it out, there were actually chunks of cast iron swarf that were broken off. Plus, this opening had shards sticking out. And I was trying to get in here and feel this area where the little ball that works the ramp sits. And I was cutting myself to shreds. So I got a Dremel tool, and earlier I ground all the knife edges out of here so I won't hurt myself. And I got to look into this thing. And I have a problem with it too, is it lifts a little bit when I put something in here. Most of what I do isn't really that precision, but it's kind of irritating, So I decided, this has got to be something that's fixable. But anyway, the way it's supposed to work is this. This is the movable jaw. There's a ramp in here that kind of angles up this way. It's got this little half a ball bearing that goes in here. And this is, I'll call it the shoe. I don't know what you really call it, but this is driven by the jack screw. And this gadget fits in here, and it's supposed to slide against the half a steel ball. And because of the angles of this, when it slides, it draws this down and in like this. And actually, you can hear it a little bit right now. Well, let me put the ball back in. I'll show you what I mean. When it draws down, you hear that? When it draws down, the top of this, I know it's hitting the bottom of this. So I think what is happening is that when you tighten this thing up, the top of this is hitting the bottom of this before it is able to draw all the way down. There's a little bit of play in there. So we're going to do a couple of things. I'm going to run this out to my disc sander, and I'm going to take a little bit of metal off the top of this. And we're going to do one other thing. We're going to take this over to my old friend, the Chinese belt sander, and we're going to polish this off a little bit as much as we can, because the whole process is contingent upon this ball being able to slide freely on this ramp. And it might be hard to pick up on camera. It looks like they whacked part of it just like for a half a second with some kind of grinding device. The casting is uneven, which really shouldn't matter, but you want the casting to be smooth, relatively even across the top, so that it could, react with this half a ball in the right manner. But, this is rough, it's uneven, so we're gonna face this off a little bit on the old Chinese belt sander and smooth it up a little bit. Because I love that Chinese belt sander so much, let's do that first. You guys will probably recall this thing from some of my earlier videos. When I got something like this to do, I like to clamp it in a vise. The housing here is metal. It's got 2 flat spots on it for the handle, so it clamps nicely in a vise. Let's see if it still works. Okay, most all the pitting is gone, just a little bit left down there, a lot smoother than it used to be. I'm going to get a Dremel tool. I'm going to reform this radius in here, just so the ball, the corner of the ball doesn't hit the deal Madoo up there and make a hard stop. So we'll get it to radius a little bit so it'll kind of have room to slide around a little easier. All right, I'm really happy with that. I'm going to get, I think I'm going to get, yeah, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I think I'm going to get one finer grade of sandpaper on the Chinese belt sander and just touch this up. Well, or maybe not, you know. Sometimes you need to stop while you're ahead. So I think I'm going to stop. I think. All right, you know, just notice the shitty quality of the casting. I mean, there's voids in here. You know, obviously I knew it wasn't a $700 Kurt when I bought it. You know, they didn't break these edges. They're sharp as a fucking razor. Hey, I was going to try to do a whole video without cussing, but I just blew it a minute ago when I said sharp as a fucking razor. Does this matter? No. It just bugs me. Okay, all the crud was hosed off in my parts washer a while ago. So, I think I'm ready to try to put this back together again. Let's see. What do I want to do first? Let's put this in. You know, here's another thing that bugs me too is, you see the raised lip over here? They didn't chamfer the screw holes. I got a big countersink. I'm going to go chamfer both of these. All right, got a nice chamfer on both ends. Ooh, you know what else I'm going to do? Because, you know, the purpose of this was to make it drive down more. And like I said, I think this is hitting the bottom side of this. I'm going to run this out to my big disc sander, and I'm going to take some metal off the top of this. Okay, back again. All right. Let's see. Oh, sanded it until it was too hot to hang on to anymore. ended up taking about 50 thousandths of an inch off of this surface over here. So that will allow this to move farther up into the block. So hopefully it'll make a clamp better. Let's see. Goes this way. Yeah, see, before grinding, ouch, that fucker's still hot. Whoops, swore again. Before I ground this, the end of that, this surface here could not touch this surface. It was about an eighth of an inch, 16th of an inch gap. I couldn't bring these into contact with one another. So I know this is now seating up in there. All right, let's put this little bastard together, see if I made out any good with it. Ooh, nice. Okay, so let's test this out. I got a couple of half-inch square high-speed steel tool blanks I'm going to use as parallels right now. Got a 1, 2, 3 block. Let's put it in there. Let's snug it up. Give it a couple of whacks. Tighten the vise down the rest of the way. Okay, let's see if the parallels slide out. Previously, prior to doing all this checking around this thing, one or both of them would slide out fairly easily. Tight. Tight. Boy, I'm really happy with that. I think I did some good with that. What specifically fixed it? I don't know for sure whether it was the issue of that shoe hitting the top of the movable block. I don't know for sure whether or not it was the rough face of that shoe interacting with that, half ball socket in there. But all I could tell you is right now, those parallels are tight and the vise is exerting down force on this block, holding it in place. I'm really happy with that. Really happy with that. That makes my fucking day. That's the kind of thing I like. Men, this isn't the ending I was planning for this video, but I happen to notice that I'm at 99 subscribers. I committed to giving these connecting rods away when I hit 100, so I'm 1 subscriber away from hitting 100. These rods are original HD Sportster rods. They've got new races pressed in the bottom here. They will need to be honed. This piston pin bush is original and it was good. This piston pin bush has been replaced. It's been reamed and honed to fit a pin correctly. So you got a set of rods over here ready to give them away as soon as I hit 100 to the first guy who asks. But anyway, the new went to the video. I am out of here. Hey, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye.